Here it was, the city of song, glowing with the mythal's touch beneath the inkling light of stars. Those from all races, all walks of life existed together in harmony. So much innovation, so much conversation. My old soul got used to the company. I could have stayed there forever. That forever now exists solely in the past. There were 14 of us when we created the mythal. Mythanthor and I mentally granted a small portion of the spell to each mage involved. This spell was more than each of us. We were creating something that would shape the entire city, possibly all of Cormanthir. And still, despite everything, despite all the damage, the mythal carries on today, as do I. Their horde came in the night, flood of enemies that reduced all we loved to piles of rubble. We tried our best to hold them off, but there were so many. Not even our magic could defeat them all. And just like that, the city became a burial ground for might and magic alike. Now it exists only to feed the monsters that lurk within. I have roamed this city, biding my time, waiting for them to inevitably return to me. My anticipation of the threat they have foreseen hangs over me. It will be soon. A flicker from the mythal tells me all I need to know. I am ready. Labeless Enereth, eternal god of time who preserves our history by hearing our prayers, winding his timepiece again and again. Through these years, only the most prophetical soul could shake him from his rest. Until then, he sleeps. Sir Ildranath's tower. Ildranath and his warrior maidens bested countless threats from our city. The maidens themselves were powerful enough that Ildranath became purely their mentor. He disappeared after he retired. The maidens carried his teachings with them for the rest of their lives. Do you hear that? A slight buzzing in your ear. No? I shouldn't think so. By design, of course. One of the spells we wove into the mythal prevents small pests from entering our city. Tiny insects bounce off our walls like the nuisances they are. Good riddance. I certainly don't miss the insects, but the birds. I long to hear their songs again. They were treasured pets before the city's fall. Now they avoid the ruins to escape the ravenous creatures that live here. Today, the only song heard in the streets of Myth Drannor is that of the desolate wind. Oh, Lord Ongluth thrived here back when the city was at its height. My fellow caster discovered so many small creations that improved our lives. A spell that warmed tea in an instant, for example, without use of a flame. It became a sensation. Oh, he paid such careful attention to the most minute details. That's one of the reasons why Ongluth was invited to create the mythal. Lady Ekorn, such a kind soul. Her manner of speaking was like a knife with a serrated edge, but I will never find someone as loyal as she. I wish she was here now to wait with me, but she did her part in the ritual. I stand here in her place. This cemetery haunts my heart. Here is where my friends were buried. High mages and ordinary folk alike. Their bodies hold our memories. Friendships to me are so fleeting, but I will keep my heart open, even as a Baelnorn, I must strive to live. The Mythal was not only a barrier, it was a rule book. We listed everything that we thought would perfect our city and then stitched the spells together to create the harmony we desired. And we succeeded. The Mythal defined our world, protected us. For a time. Centuries flash by in seconds, decades pass as mere daydreams, and years? Oh, snap of the fingers. When I look back on everything, it feels like an ache, a yearning for more, despite all the time yet to come. I've had endless time to travel, to see every realm, yet I find myself returning to the places I've already been. Strange, isn't it? How memories imprint themselves into your very bones. It's a peaceful sort of possession, one that shall never let me go. Tendrils of power flowed from each caster, entwining with each other, weaving into an arcane blanket that would cover all. Yet if it weren't for my dear companion's sacrifice, we could never have succeeded. His body exploded into binding magic. He is the Mythal. Mythanthor, forever and always. Thank you. There was a house here once, surrounded by beautiful flowers. Its owner was a gardener. I remember passing by on my daily walks through the city. I remember the gardener's smile. The house is now covered in weeds. The stones crumbled. Yet I can still see it. I was there. I still remember. Mythanthor gave me a present before we made the Mythal, and he met his end. A ring with an agate gemstone. For protection and concentration, to help with the spell, he said. I still wear it when I'm feeling sentimental. What we felt was never love, it was more than that. We were mirrored souls. I'm not a stranger to violence. I do not sit back as the fight rages before me. I have defended these ruins time and time again. There is always a new threat, and a modicum of peace in between. I can feel these elves' hope. I feel the crackling energy that precedes change. I know they will succeed, for a time. I look forward to seeing how far this city will go in the hands of the young. I will let them work. This must be their project, not mine. The Mythal's instability has created portals, and these portals have led all manner of creatures into this city, drawn by the promise of power, drawn by the unending violence. So it has been since the city fell.